It's Monday. That means it's time for another edition of Time Out Overtime on the Time Out Overtime YouTube channel. I'm Rick Arsenault. And as always, first things first, if you haven't done so yet, get down there in the corner, smash that like and subscribe button. Thanks so much for listening and watching. Time Out Overtime is brought to you in part by Frank Beck Chevrolet. Of course, we're at the Frank Beck Chevrolet Studio Annex, and by Barrett Insurance in Jonesville at the corner of US 12 and M99. That's BarrettINS.com, 517-849-1000. Barrett Insurance in Jonesville, protecting your dreams. BarrettINS.com, 517-849-1000. And of course, also brought to you in part by the good folks at Frank Beck Chevrolet. You know, Frank Beck Chevrolet is thanking loyal Chevy owners with big savings during Chevy Loyalty Month. now through March the 3rd. Let me clear my throat here. I don't want to cheat these guys. In fact, we're going to start over. Frank Beck Chevrolet is thanking loyal Chevy owners with big savings during Chevy Loyalty Month, now through March the 3rd. Loyal Chevy owners can save an extra $1,000 on brand new 2025 Blazers, Colorados, Trailblazers, and Silverado HD models, plus 1.9% financing is available on select models. Bex also has a great selection of late model pre-owned vehicles at fantastic prices. You can check out their entire inventory on their webpage at frankbeckchevy.com, or better yet, stop by the dealership and see them on M99 between Hillsdale and Jonesville. Get in there and let them help you experience the Frank Beck difference. And circle Saturday, April the 12th on your calendar for Beck's annual Maggie Fry Scholarship Breakfast. This year's event will run from 8 to 11 a.m. in the showroom and will feature yours truly and Andy Brown doing our timeout Saturday show live and direct from their showroom. I got the camera getting away from me here. Hang on. Well, remember, don't forget, go to your calendar right now and make a big circle around April 12th. We hope to see you all out there. Very good cause, the Maggie Fry Scholarship Breakfast, Saturday, April the 12th, week before Easter, day before Palm Sunday, I believe. Saturday, April the 12th, at the Frank Beck Chevrolet showroom from 8 to 11. Breakfast with the Andy and me and the whole gang out there. No excuses. We want to see you out there. Saturday, April the 12th, Saturday morning from 8 to 11, Frank Beck Chevrolet showroom. Put it your phone, circle your calendar, do whatever you have to do. We got to see you out there. Bob Flynn also wanted me to remind you that Beckathon has been extended. Beckathon has been extended, so you can still get in there and save an extra $1,000 dealer cash on all remaining new 2024 models in stock. You get an extra $3,000 dealer cash on select used vehicles. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. Chevrolet drives Southern Michigan. Frank Beck Chevrolet is indeed the number one Chevrolet dealer in the tri-state area. Pistons. Well, let's get this out of the way first. As you saw by the title, U of M, disappointing loss. Good win for State Friday night. They got out-rebounded. And I think the last minute or minute and a half was a microcosm of that whole game. They had a brief lead in the first half, but hey, give State credit. They played very well. They played very good defense. As Tom Izzo has the Spartans playing a very good defense right now. So they're on top of the Big Ten. They are 13. Michigan can tie them tonight. Michigan, if they were win tonight, they'll go to 13-3, which is what the Spartans are right now. And Michigan is at Nebraska tonight. So a win tonight will put them back into a tie with the Spartans for first place in the Big Ten. All right, let's look at their schedules here. Remaining schedules. Of course, as I said, Michigan plays tonight. Then they've got 3 straight games at home against Rutgers, Illinois, and Maryland. And then, of course, they close it out on Sunday, March the 9th, in East Lansing against the Spartans. By the way, Michigan's ranked 15th this week. State is ranked number 8. Their next game is a Wednesday night at Maryland. Maryland is ranked number 16. It won't be an easy game for Michigan State. Then they've got Wisconsin. The Badgers are ranked 11. And just when I'm ready to proclaim them the best team in the Big Ten, they turn around and lose to Oregon. Maybe I jinxed them, but no. Yeah, Michigan State has Maryland on Wednesday and Wisconsin at home. Then they're at Iowa, of course. And as I said, they finished the regular season on March the 9th, Sunday, March the 9th, playing the Wolverines at the Breslin Center. And then I believe 3 days later, the Big Ten tournament will commence at Lucas Oil in Indianapolis, which is going to be a busy place the next few weeks because that's also where the scouting combine commences on the 27th, which is Thursday. The first unit out will be the defensive linemen and the linebackers. We'll talk about that a little bit more in just a few minutes, so I can still wet my whistle yet. Tigers, I won't say much about them. They're 2-0. I don't put a lot of critique. I don't critique a lot of things I see in spring training, although Casey Mize did look good yesterday as they shut up the Yankees in Tampa 4-0. They're 2-0. They got rained out today, as did mostly everybody else in Florida. They're getting a lot of rain in Florida today, or storms or whatever, but most of the games in the Grapefruit League were washed out today. So, something else I wanted to run by you too. Get you caught up here. The LA Rams have given Matthew Stafford's agent permission to talk to other teams regarding a trade. Before the news came out today regarding Sam Darnold and the Minnesota Vikings, the thought was that the year that Stafford's first year in LA when he won a Super Bowl, his offensive coordinator was Kevin O'Connell, who, of course, is the head coach of the Vikings right now. But in the last couple of hours, it's been announced that the Vikings have re-signed Sam Darnold. To me, that's a bit of a surprise. I don't know what that means for J.J. McCarthy, but does that mean Sam Darnold will be the Vikings' number one quarterback going into next season? Kind of looks that way right now, doesn't it? I'm a bit surprised by that. Of course, I haven't. Like I said, this news recently came out. Adam Schefter broke this news a couple of hours ago on ESPN. I'll have more to say about that as we progress through the week on Wednesday and Friday, I suppose. But after the fires in LA last month, Stafford's wife, Kelly, made it pretty clear that she wanted to get out of LA. I don't know how much that's got to do with it or not, but remember, Stafford's 37 years old. I still think he has a couple of good years left in him. If he does get traded, I have a hunch, just my inclination to think he'll end up in Las Vegas with the Raiders, playing for Pete Carroll. I think Pete Carroll might know something we don't, because it was hard for me to see him at his age. What is he, 73 now, taking that job in Las Vegas without knowing who his quarterback's going to be. If something prearranged that they're going to acquire Stafford in a trade, I don't know, but I think that'd be a good fit for him in Las Vegas. And a lot of people had him going to Minnesota. Of course, now they've re-upped with Sam Darnold. So I don't know where that leaves Stafford at this point, but food for thought anyway, something to think about. And two, the combine getting underway now at Lucas Oil. As I said, it starts Thursday and will end on Sunday, I think, with the offensive linemen. Starts Thursday with the defensive linemen and the linebackers. It's at Lucas Oil every year. Maybe because that's kind of centrally located in the U.S. Thought was, why think about the NFL should contemplate moving the combine around now like they do the draft. Of course, wouldn't it have to be at an indoor facility like Ford Field or Houston or Minneapolis. I don't think you'd want it in an outdoor venue, even if it was a warm climate. You see, the combine was called off today or canceled due to rain. No, it would have to be an indoor facility. So I don't know. Does Lucas Oil, do the people in Indianapolis have a lock on the combine every year or not, as well as the Big Ten tournament? Obviously, that's a huge economic boost for the city of Indianapolis. Like just imagine the hotels and restaurants that are busting with business down there this week, and of course, a couple of weekends from now when the Big Ten tournament transpires down there. Food for thought, anyway. Move that around like they do there. They wouldn't have a lot of options, but just something to think about. Okay, let's do this for Tim Lindley at Quality PC in downtown Hillsdale. The place to go for all your tech needs, 37 Waldron Street. Any tech issues at all, get in there and see Tim Lindley or one of his crack assistants. They're very good, very capable. Anything at all, computers, new or used. I may be buying a used computer from him in the near future. We'll see. Flat screen, large TVs, 4K mounted, smart TVs. Maybe you need that mounted and programmed, set up. This is the guy you want to see. Internet providers. Maybe you're changing internet providers. You need that installed. Printers, new or used, anything at all. You're having an issue with printers, this is the guy you want to call. Tim Lindley, Quality PC, downtown Hillsdale, directly across the street from Fat Jack's Automotive, 517-610-5372, a couple hundred feet west of Howell Street. Or better still, get in there and see him, like tell him Mickey and me sent you, 37 Waldron Street, across from Fat Jack's Automotive. Pistons won a wild game last night in Atlanta, 148-143 in regulation. And that was the highest scoring game for the Pistons in regulation since December the 19th of 1984, when they beat the Denver Nuggets 148-129. So that they equaled that output last night. So it's been a while since they scored that many points in regulation. Of course, the year before that, they played a wild game, again with the Nuggets out in Denver that went to triple overtime. Game for the ages. A classic 186-184 in overtime, in triple overtime. Triple overtime. You'll never see a game like that again, ever. Gosh, you'll never see a game like that. What is that, 370 points? Wow. In one game, you'll never see a game like that again. I can promise you that. Red Wings, by the way, the Pistons are in action tonight at Little Caesars. They'll take on the LA Clippers, who just got pasted by the Pacers last night in Indianapolis. So they're up here tonight. Both teams playing on 24 hours rest. Maybe the Pistons are catching the Clippers. If the Pistons win tonight, they'll be 32-26 with 24 games left. 24 games left. So let's see, they'd have to go 18 and 6 to get to 50. Could they do that? 15 and 9, maybe 15 and 9. Anyway, Pistons having a tremendous year, led by all-star Cade Cunningham. Red Wings, couple of disconcerting games over the weekend. They blew 2-goal leads on one on Saturday to the Minnesota Wild, and again last night at home to the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. 2-goal leads. They lost on a fluke goal in overtime on Saturday, and it was, if you saw it, it was a fluke goal. And then, of course, the same thing happened yesterday. They did, thanks to thanks to an overtime goal by Patrick Kane yesterday, they did manage to get 2 points out of that game. Is that a little disconcerting to you? Is that a little bit disconcerting? The Pistons, not the Pistons, I'm sorry, the Red Wings losing in that fashion or blowing these 2-goal leads in the third period. We'll see. It's not too often you see a team score a goal with a minute left with an empty net, but that happened on consecutive days. You're probably not going to see that again in quite a long time. I had a list here of several players you might want to keep an eye on at the combine, but I'm going to focus on just one right now because there's a good chance with the Lions picking at 28, they have a good shot at getting this guy. This fella is Mike Green, defensive end out of Marshall. He could very well be there at 28 when the Pistons pick. He had 17 sacks this year. He's 6'4", only weighs about 248, 250. Well, with that size, I think you're more of a Sam linebacker type. You might compare that to a Micah Parsons or whatever. But this guy is quite an athlete. He's got speed, quickness. He started his career at the University of Virginia, but transferred to Marshall in 2022. He's a former wrestler. That gives him another edge. Leverage, fighting skills. Wrestlers make very good defensive linemen. He uses a variety of pass rush techniques, including hand swipes, swim moves, and a counter spin. As I said, this past season, he led the Thundering Herd with 17 sacks. That was most in the Sun Belt Conference. He was named the Walter Camp First Team All-American and Sun Belt Player of the Year. He led Marshall to a 10-3 record in the 2024 SBC Championship. He's been invited to the combine to participate. We'll see him Thursday. We'll see him when the linebackers and defensive linemen, they're first up. So if you have the NFL Network, keep an eye on this guy and keep close tabs on it because he could very well be there at 28. And I think Brad Holmes, I'm sure they have their eye on this kid. Of course, they'll be interviewing him too. Brad Holmes, I think, Thursday, I think Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell will both be holding press conferences at Lucas Oil. So it'll be interesting to see what they have to say. He made the headlines at the Senior Bowl this year. He stood out there at the Senior Bowl in Alabama. I mean, he stood out head and shoulders there. Scouts, executives, and coaches around the NFL have been impressed with Green's physical nature and attitude. That's a guy to keep an eye on. I'll have a few more players for you as we progress through the week. Mike Green, Edge Marshall. Remember the name. That's a guy I'd love to see the Lions get with that. There's a good chance. I featured him today because there's a very good chance he'll be available when they pick at 28, or they might have to move up just a few. They might have to move up just a few spots to get him. But I think I really think it would be beneficial for the Lions, and I'm sure Brad Holmes knows that, to take a really close look at this kid. And I'm sure, well, right now a lot of people seem to think in the mock drafts I'm looking at that they've got the Lions taking Mike Green at 28. Okay, something to think about. Food for thought. I'm going to get out of here. I've talked enough. That's going to do it for right now. Don't forget. Wednesday night. I'll be back Wednesday night. Don't forget Saturday morning here locally on Time Out with Andy, 92.1 WCSR, 92.1 FM. And I'll talk to you all again on Wednesday night. So until then, remember, please treat each other with respect. Have a good rest of your evening. And thanks so much for watching and listening. Good night, everybody.